Hey, beautiful people, and welcome to Wealth Builder Wednesday. And I am here with Laura Croce, and she is a real estate investor, and she has a lot to say about people who want to create passive income. So, to tell you a little bit about Laura, she is an investor, she's a coach, and she's a consultant, and she has 40 years of experience in rentals, flipping properties, and wholesaling and private lending. So if this is something that you think you would be interested in, I think this would be a great thing to listen to her. She has a ton of experience. She's been through various market fluctuations, including the challenging market of 2008. And if you remember that, everybody that was investing in real estate, you learned a huge lesson through that. So Laura is really highly skilled in finding solutions for complex business situations, making her a trusted business coach for those seeking guidance in real estate. Laura's impressive career is just one aspect of her life. In addition to her work in real estate, she's also deeply committed to making a difference in her community. And we know we love community people who really go out and try to make a difference in their community. We know that that's the heart of God. And as a member of the board of directors for Loop, Loving Others on Purpose, Laura devotes her time and energy to helping people in recovery and supporting efforts to build stronger, more resilient community. Apart from her contributions to the real estate sector and volunteer work, Laura is a devoted wife to her husband, Steve, and an equally devoted mother to her 7 adult children. And I love that Laura is a servant leader as she dedicates her life to serving others, both professionally and personally. And we love community people. We love kingdom people. And Laura is definitely a kingdom leader. She's a kingdom business leader. And so we want to welcome her to Wealth Builder Wednesday today. So Laura, welcome.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. So let me ask you a couple of questions, and you know how I am. If you guys know how I work, I have to write it down so that I don't forget the questions I want to ask. What would you say to someone who recently lost money in the market?
Well, when someone loses money in the market, a lot of time fear creeps in. And so I recently had a conversation with someone that had their money in the market had lost a good chunk of it. Now, this particular person is in his upper 60s, and his concern is his time to be able to recover it. And, with real estate, you have a secured investment. So he's definitely interested, because of his age, of not being stuck in a situation where he takes another loss next year. He doesn't have the time to keep taking losses.
Right. So are you finding it harder now to get a good return on your investments?
No, actually not. I think, real estate has always been very safe. Aside from 2008, when the banks folded, they created that situation. But as far as real estate being protected, through any kind of like your mortgage and all of those things, we can actually, it's a very secure investment. And I've been doing it for so many years. I love it. I'm passionate about it. I've seen a lot of wealth that has been created over the years through real estate. The majority of the millionaires in this world have created it from real estate.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good to know, especially when you're later in life and you don't have the investments, you don't have the retirement plan, or, there's some companies that have folded and they don't have their 401ks were taken away or not getting a good return. Some of them, companies have been sold, and then they don't have a retirement. So this is really good to know that you could take your investments and buy real estate and actually have a retirement income come in that way. So is your retirement investment, is it dwindling? Is it going smaller?
No, it's not. It's actually going up. It's we're on the incline we're actually in a transition market right now, which is really exciting, because I think, the prices are up now only because of the inventory being low. But I really think that we are going to be going in 2024 a great opportunity to really obtain a lot of wealth. Just like in 2008, when the market did crash, I was able to buy a lot of properties using private capital at that time and being able to give my investors really good returns on their money. And then I rented out the properties, and then we were able to sell them again in 2020, 21 and really recover a lot of the losses from 2008.
Oh, that is fantastic. I think that's one thing that people are kind of wary of or leery of, I guess you would say, is putting their investment, buying high and then the market crashing and not being able to get their money out of that property. So do you see, like, if you invest now, do you see that happening for anybody, for people, if they were buy a house now? Would your advice be to keep it or to flip it, or what would be your advice on that?
Well, currently my strategy is to flip properties right now, currently, to try to stockpile some cash so that when the market does go down is really the best time to buy rentals. If I do buy rentals currently right now, I will do different creative financing. But as long as your property cash flows, if you don't have to sell the money, you don't have to sell the property right away, and you're cash flowing every month, that isn't a problem. It's when, people get into situations where they have to sell. And as an investor, I don't buy anything that I have to sell. I go with the trends of the market. And so as long as the rents are cash flowing higher than the payment every month, we're good. Even for a long-term investment, the good thing is every month principal is being paid down. So you're getting your money in so many different ways. You're getting the rents, you're getting appreciation, and you're getting your mortgages paid down. So it's a great way to build wealth.
Well, what about somebody who doesn't want to go look houses? Maybe they don't want to go out and actually buy real estate. Do you offer something where they can be an investor and invest in you or what you're doing?
Absolutely. That's where I use private capital. And private capital allows them to loan me the money to purchase a property. So they are actually the bank in that situation. So instead of me paying the bank, I can pay them the returns, which I would much rather help people by doing that than helping an institution.
Well, I know one thing is, in doing that, you could get more money. You could actually make more on an investment, and instead of putting it in CDs or in the stock market, you actually would be safer in investing in real estate, because when you have something solid there, you have something for your money. So I love that. And the other thing is, you could, when you got it out of one place, you could roll it over to another place. Like you could, like, buy this investment property, take the whatever out of it, take that same amount, leave it in there, and just maybe get your interest out of it or whatever, like you were talking about. I love that. So are you afraid that you'll be taking a loss by the end of the year?
No, not at all. I've had a great start to this year. I actually had lent capital out. In 2020, I sold off my portfolio of properties that I had purchased in 08. And then I took that capital and I lent it out to other real estate investors, and I was receiving passive income. I absolutely love that because I did no work at all and I got a check every single month. And that is my end goal. I feel that we're going into a really good opportunity here, and I want to be able to capitalize on that. But the future goal would be just to be a private money lender and be able to get those returns with very little work.
Oh, that would be awesome too. That would be something that I would enjoy also, as well as buying houses. I love real estate. I love real estate investing, and that's something that I feel like is going to be really in my near future. I have done it in the past, and like you, you sell off everything. And now I just feel like where the market is going, and now people haven't lost their mind. They're actually getting their mind back when it comes to real estate. Now you're seeing stuff stay on the market a little longer. And especially in our area, I'm excited. I feel like in our area, there's a great opportunity for investing. So do you feel like your current investments are protected? Like if you did real estate investing, do you feel like they are protected?
Oh, very much so. Especially right now, what I'm really doing is I'm doing a lot of short-term purchasing right now, but with the intent that when I start picking up more rentals next year, I will offer longer term investments for people for passive income as well. So they can do it as short of a time or as long of a time as they would like. Typically, when I flip a property, it's anywhere between 6 and 9 months. When I start back into doing a lot more of the rentals, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. We could, revisit it after so many years. They can let me know, at any certain time, if they want their capital back, I can replace it with another client's capital as well.
Oh, that's awesome. So how long does a typical investor, how long do they typically invest their money? Like if I was going to be a real estate investor with you, how long typically would you before I see a return?
We can set it up a couple of different ways if they want. So if, for instance, I'm going to be flipping a property that would take about 6 months, what I would do is I could set it up structurally 2 ways. They could get one lump sum of their interest plus their principal back once I sell that property, or I can give them monthly payments as well. Either way, we can set that up, whatever they desire to do.
Oh, that is awesome. So could you think of anything else that you need to say, or that, that would make somebody interested in being an investor, or that would take the fear out of it? Because I know a lot of people are afraid to do real estate investing.
So how they're protected is we create a mortgage note, and what happens is they're the bank. So I can't sell that property unless they are paid off. So when I'm able to, flip that property, they get paid off at closing through the title company. So they're protected. I cannot, if they are giving me a first mortgage, they're in the first position. And this way they're protected and I can't sell that property. So they get their money back, whether they have the monthly payment in their capital, or if we do it as a lump sum in their capital. Then after that property sells, I can approach them again to do another property. So they can get out at any given time, or if they're happy with their returns and they want to keep continuing, we just keep continuing the relationship.
Oh, I love that. And then having somebody that you can really trust that's a kingdom business entrepreneur. I love that, because in being a kingdom leader and doing kingdom business is that everything's on the up and up. It's everything is done with the Lord in the midst of that. And so the Lord loves to bless, we get into a business and God loves to bless businesses. And I believe that his heart, the thing about real estate investing too, is you take territory. So with the houses that you buy, you can take territory for the Lord. And so, I'm all about the kingdom, and I'm all about taking territory and decreeing and declaring, God, your kingdom come, your will be done in this territory. So I'm so excited about that. And thank you so much for being here today. And anyone that is really interested, I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to show you a guide that is put together. And so do you mind taking us through this guide, Laura?
No, not at all. So, in the beginning is private money, you work smarter, not harder. And the end goal is when you are the private money person, you are the one that really has, you do the least amount of work with the best returns. So, that's being on the top. That's where it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. Understanding the numbers. When I go into an investment, I have a formula that is always safe for people. And when I do my work, I figure out the cost of the property, the after repaired value of the property, and how much I would have to put in the property. I always follow this formula, which keeps the investor very safe. So for instance, it's a 70% of the after repaired value is what I borrow. And what that does is if a property is worth 100,000, I would never, after repaired, after it's fixed up, I would never borrow more than 70,000 from the investor. This way their investment is protected. So not that I would default by any means, but if a situation would happen like that, they would actually be ahead of the game by $30,000. So we never borrow any more than the 70% value, so that a private money person can feel very secure with their investment.
Right. And so you also buy houses, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is awesome too. Because I see is this your Mac Home Buyers?
Yes, that's my company. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what about relationship building?
Well, what I've done over the years is when I have had investors invest with me and they're very, very happy with their returns, we create win-win situations for everyone. So when they do that and they like their returns, they tell their friends, they're happy with their results. A lot of times I've had many investors that want to give me more money as time goes on. They're happy with their returns, and they tell other family members and friends, and the relationship just keeps growing and building that way.
Well, with over 40 years experience, I'm telling you, you know what, you've been in it a long time. You're not somebody fly by night. You're going to be here. You're stable. That's one thing that I love. So what is private money lending?
Private money lending is when someone wants to invest in the real estate with me. Basically, it's a partnership where they give me their capital when I purchase a property. And then what I do is I give them either monthly returns or a lump sum of their return once the property is sold. That generally takes between 6 and 9 months when I flip a property. Now, I've had other investors over the years give me long-term capital, and that I've had it as many times as, up to 10 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
we
That's
can
good.
we can do short-term or long-term, whatever the client feels comfortable with.
Okay. Is there anything else here that we need to go over? If anybody's interested, I know you can email this guide to them.
Yes, I definitely can. I would say a question that comes up to me a lot, especially if I've done private lending with an elderly person, they're always concerned about what happens with my investment if I was to pass. And we can always be able to pay their people that their family members that they leave the money to. We can follow the same terms. So they would definitely be getting a check every month, just like the initial private money person.
Oh, that is great. That is wonderful. That's something that I wouldn't even have thought about. So that is great. And I see
a lot of times in that situation, a lot of times family members don't want to leave their families large chunks of money. So by doing that, they're not getting everything all at one time. They're getting it over a period of time.
I like that too. Exactly. So that they're getting it over a period of time and they're not getting one lump sum that they, could potentially use in the wrong way.
Right. Absolutely. And it can be set up in a lot of different ways, in a trust. however they want to have that be, we can just keep, rolling it over into another property, or they can roll it over into a longer term investment as well.
Well, this is awesome. I see you have testimonials here too, where the different relationships where you and about being on loop. And I see, that there's people that have known you for over 15 years. That's a lot. That's awesome when you have testimonies and you have repeat customers, you have repeat people, investors. That's awesome. That's a testament to itself right there.
I'm passionate to help people. I'm passionate to help them in all ways, whether it's, investors that have invested in my company, whether it's, people that want to purchase a nice home, whether it's they want to rent and rent a really nice home, where we take care of things. It's all about helping people. God has taken care of me so well. And I think when you really do right by people and you build those relationships and you really come from a place of everybody wins, it's a great thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like that God puts divine appointments together with people that, you have investors and you have somebody who's willing to buy the real estate. Then you have investors, or, you can learn to buy real estate. And right now, to me, it's one of the best times. One of the best times to invest in real estate is right now when the market is like it is. It may not be all the way down, but right now you can still get a good deal. If you are in the kingdom of God, there's always deals to be made out there. There are people who are moving out of the area. Maybe, there's people when you get ready to buy homes, there's people who lost loved ones that they not necessarily, my friend just lost her mom. Now she has her mom's house. So, there's always situations going on where people need to sell their homes. And so I feel like that God puts those people together in your path when you do real estate investing, so that you're able to come together, so that both of you, the kingdom is all about interconnection. It's all about people coming together and succeeding together. God, God doesn't like one man shows. He always puts people together in order to accomplish his kingdom purpose. So anyway, is there anything else you'd like to say before we close out, Laura?
The only other thing I would like to say is if anybody wants to get into investing, I also do coaching for real estate investors. So even if somebody wants to get started out in real estate, or they're looking to level up in real estate, there's opportunities there. When I started back 40 years ago, I didn't have a coach, and I learned from a lot of School of Hard Knocks. And, it's really nice to be able to have a mentor, someone that you can lean on to really help you through those processes and be able to, walk you through the steps. Yeah. And even just helping you to get past the fear. Fear is something that really holds us back, and God doesn't want us to be afraid. And when we have, people that can support you, that have gone ahead of you and been able to do it, well and successfully, we can really help them. So
yes, I totally agree. So if you want to get in touch with Laura, go to coachlauracroce@gmail.com. That's her email address. You can find her there. And believe me, she's a woman of integrity. She's a godly woman, and she's definitely a kingdom leader. So anyway, you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week on.
Thank you, Teresa.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Laura, for being here.
Thank you.